Life for 0.8 million years ago. Hey there, welcome to Paleologic. Today, we're talking about what life was like for early humans for 0.8 million years ago. And more specifically, we're talking about the diet of early humans for 0.8 million years ago. This is a question that comes up a lot, so I thought I would address it in a video. So, this is not a specific point in time. It's not like we're talking about the Neanderthals or Homo sapiens. We're talking about the very first members of the genus Homo, which would be Homo habilis and maybe even Australopithecus afarensis, depending on how you want to split things up. And we're going back for 0.8 million years. That puts us in the Miocene Epoch, which was a time of great apes and early hominins. Hominins being the group that includes both chimps, bonobos, gorillas, US humans, and all of our ancestors. The hominin that most people picture when they hear this time period is obviously Lucy, the Australopithecus afarensis. If you've seen the famous National Geographic cover with her running, that would be her. And she lived between 4 and 3 million years ago. But again, it could even stretch back to 4.8 million years ago. And we might even be talking about Homo habilis at that point, which lived from about 2.4 to 1.6 million years ago, though recent finds may push that back a little bit. Either way, we are talking about a time period before the splitting of the Homo genus, so it would include species like Homo erectus and early members of the Homo genus. Now, if we had a fossil from this time period, we can get an idea of what they were eating based on the wear patterns on their teeth. Teeth are pretty good indicators of diet because they wear down in different ways based on what you're eating. Carnivores have sharp teeth for tearing flesh, whereas herbivores have flat teeth for grinding plants, and omnivores like us have a bit of both. In general, these early hominins probably had a diet that was primarily made up of plants, but they were also probably getting some amount of meat. How much meat is really the big question here. And that's where things get a little controversial. If you ask a paleoanthropologist, they will tell you that these early hominins were probably mostly plant eaters, scavenging the occasional carcass when they could find one. And they would support this by pointing to the wear patterns on the teeth of these ancient fossils. The problem with that line of thinking is that you can't really know someone's diet just from looking at their teeth. Teeth are good indicators, but they don't tell the whole story. And there are other factors at play here. For example, if you look at the gut microbiome of chimps, gorillas, and bonobos, you can see that they have much longer, more complex guts than we do. This is because they are much better adapted to digesting plants than we are. In fact, our guts are actually closer in length to that of a carnivore than a chimp or a gorilla. Okay, so clearly we are not great at digesting plants, yet we seem to have survived just fine on a mostly plant-based diet for hundreds of thousands of years. So what gives? Well, the answer, of course, is that we're not only our gut microbiome, we're also our behavior. Our ability to use tools and cook food has allowed us to survive on a wider variety of foods than any other primate. So going back for 0.8 million years, let's say, I think it is pretty safe to assume that early hominins were eating a diet that was primarily made up of plants, but I don't think it's accurate to call them scavengers. Scavenging is a behavior, and I don't think these guys were going around looking for carcasses to eat. Instead, I think it's more accurate to call them opportunistic carnivores. They probably ate meat whenever they could get their hands on it, but they weren't going out of their way to hunt animals down or anything like that. And as far as how much meat they were eating, your guess is as good as mine. There's no way to know. All we can do is look at the evidence and try to piece together what their diet was like. And the truth is, it's probably different for every individual and even every population. So there isn't a single answer that will satisfy everybody. I hope that answers the question and gives you a good idea of what life was like for early humans for 0.8 million years ago. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more Paleologic. Thanks for watching.